Celsius.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to Radio Saltire, and welcome to Community Matters. It's Colin Torley, and I've got two guests with me today, and I'm looking at them and they're there with trepidation. You're looking kind of worried there, guys. We've got two ex-Hibernian professional football players in Mervyn Jones. How you doing?
Hi Colin, fine, thanks.
Oh, thanks for that, that's great. And Kenny Davidson, how are you?
I'm fine, Colin, are you?
Yeah, we're good.
Good,
and I'll tell you
man.
what we're going to do, and the reason we've got these two guys sitting in front of us, one, they played professional football in the 60s and 70s, and they're still playing football to this day. You're playing 2-3 times a week?
Yeah.
3, yeah.
3 times, Merv. So what we're going to talk about is their life in football throughout their whole careers, after their career at football, to what they did, and then still playing football to this very day. And let me tell you, they're no spring chickens, but I'll tell you what, they're good football
Steady
players.
on, Colin, steady
Nah,
on.
but you've got the nouns though. You know, when you play against you guys, you know where you need to be. You don't need to run like us guys. But anyway, I'm going to start with you, Merv.
Yeah.
You joined Hibs when you went straight from school, didn't you?
No. I had a job.
Well, that was a good start.
When I was 15, I started work. I was there about 6 or 7 months.
Right.
At Registers of Scotland. I was in an office.
Okay. But you were always going to be a football player because your uncle is who?
John Gregg.
The John Gregg?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's a bit older than you said.
8 years older than me.
Jesus, he must be some age, eh?
Aye, but at the time he didn't seem like that.
No, of course he didn't. He had a great career with Rangers, and you had, I would say, a reasonable career with Hibs. So you joined Hibs when?
Well, 1967, I signed for Hibs. Bob Shankly was the manager.
Yeah.
And I played a friendly at Berwick on a Friday night and got whisked right to Easter Road to sign a form.
Yeah.
And I did, so...
And you were just a young lad at that time?
I was 17 at that time.
Signing for Hibs. Was that your team at the time?
No.
No.
Because my family have always been in football, and obviously with John Gregg being my uncle, we used to support Rangers.
Right,
In
that's
fact-
it. Interview's finished.
In fact, my mother is his sister, or was his sister, and she used to knit jerseys blue, red and white for me till I was about 17 years old.
Jesus, where's this interview going? He never told me any of this. But yeah, okay, so but you signed for Hibs. They are now your team though.
Yes.
Wow, thank God we got that.
Most definitely. As soon as I started playing for Hibs, I supported Hibs.
Right. But what I found interesting, that you were approached by not only Hibs but Stanley Matthews. The Stanley Matthews came to your house trying to sign you up for Notts County.
He did. I was down in the park playing football, and my brother came down and says there's a guy in the house to speak to me. And I went and I spoke to him. I actually did sign, but I thought about it, and I told my dad about 3 hours later I didn't want to go.
Right. And had Hibs been in for you before then or after?
No, Hibs didn't come in for me at that. It was later that Hibs came in for me. Aberdeen actually wanted to sign me.
Yeah, that was Eddie Turnbull, you said.
Eddie Turnbull, yeah. And I didn't want to go to them either because I didn't really want to leave home. But Eddie Turnbull was quite nasty because I didn't sign for him. He started calling me everything and saying it was because John Gregg was my uncle and I wanted to play for Rangers, which wasn't the case.
Right.
So about 2 weeks later I signed for Hibs.
Okay, and you played for them. You were there about 4 years, but you played in the first team for 2 years.
2 years in the first team squad, going about everywhere. Really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, and you played with the likes of, well, I've got them here, Pat Stanton, Peter Cormack, Colin Steen, Peter Marinello, Alec Cropley and Kenny Davidson.
Kenny Davidson, aye.
Did you two actually play together in any teams?
Yeah.
All right, okay, we'll come to that. So that's where you started off your career, and we're going to come back to that a little bit more, but I'm going to speak to Kenny now, because you were similar.
Yeah, Colin, yeah.
Did you work or did you just go straight to Hibs?
No, I was at Ferrantes as an apprentice, but I played juvenile with Lonehead United.
Right, so we were playing football anyway.
Yeah.
And did somebody see you there?
Yep. I was scouted by Hibs then, but Lonehead United were sponsored by Charlton Athletic.
Right.
So Charlton Athletic invited me down for 2 weeks for trials before I ended up at Hibs.
And do you not fancy that at all?
Yeah, they wanted to sign me, but like Merv, I wanted to stay back up in Scotland.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And right, I'm going to ask you this question. Were you always a Hibs supporter then?
I never played football. I mean, I played football at primary school, but I played Cowboys and Indians.
Right.
I mean,
you're still doing it.
Still doing that. Walking football, but no. I wasn't so interested in football as Merv. I mean, how do you follow Merv? I mean, Sir Stanley Matthews and John Gregg. Gee whiz.
Yeah, I know. Showing off now, eh?
I know.
But, so you signed straight to Hibs then?
Straight to Hibs, more or less. It was Willie McFarlane who was the manager then, and I can remember we had a trial at Easter Road, and it was invited Ayr United through for the trial, and it was very foggy.
Yeah. Couldn't
see in front of our noses. And Willie put a tracksuit on, and when I got the ball, he was standing next to me because he was wanted to see what I was doing. And then after that, he asked me to sign. But I didn't know what to leave.
He asked you to sign because he didn't really see what you...
Exactly. Didn't see what I was doing.
That's good.
But I was, as I said, my dad sort of advised me to get my apprenticeship first.
Yeah.
So...
Which would make sense.
Because Willie wanted to sign me on the ground staff. And I says, I'd rather finish my apprenticeship first, which is what you've done in these days.
Yeah.
And then I played a couple of friendlies for the reserves. And I scored 5 goals in 2 games.
Right.
And then the next thing I know, I was on the plane to Malmo. I couldn't believe it. I mean,
what age were you then?
I was 18.
When you went to Malmo?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I never even had a passport. I mean, coming from Newton Grange, why would you need a passport? You know what I mean? But
yeah, this is true.
The secretary of the club was sent through to Glasgow to get a passport for me before I could get on the plane.
And you play the full game that game?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just won, I believe.
1-3-2 in Malmo.
Because one thing we're going to... Well,
that was my debut, eh?
And that was your debut.
Yeah.
And you're a winger.
Yep.
And Merv, you're a full-back. You played right and left.
Yes.
Right, okay. We were talking about wages then. Yeah. And Merv, you mentioned you were on £35 a week.
That was a going rate at the time.
Yeah. And that you thought that was across the club, but you had doubts whether the likes of Pat Stanton was on £35 a week.
Well, aye, you'd obviously have doubts as the better players, you know, the guys with international caps and that, you're not going to give them the same as the young laddies that are coming through.
Yeah.
So I would expect all teams do that.
Yeah. But £35, I was just having a quick look at that, is probably about £800 now a week.
Oh, aye, it was great money because I was in an office and I was getting £4.60, I think, in the office.
Right.
And right away when I went to Hibs, I was getting £20 a week. So
as a young boy,
as a young guy, you suddenly find that you've got money to burn and use for other things. So
we won't talk about them, though, eh?
No.
I was the same. When I was an apprentice with Ferrantes, I was getting £5 a week.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're getting, I was getting 25 quid. I reckon how Merv got 35. But
it's obviously going back to maybe they thought he was a better player.
He could kick with both feet.
That's it. Aye. He could use both feet. But you mentioned to us earlier when we were chatting outside, is that that week that you got that, you played for against Malmo.
I played against Malmo in Malmo.
Yep.
And then I came back to Easter Road and made my home debut against St Mirren.
Yeah.
And I scored 2 goals in my first game there.
Right.
I thought the world was my oyster.
Yeah,
you know
what could go wrong?
Started at the top, worked my way down.
And I played in both the games as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
In the Malmo game as well?
Yeah, I was in midfield.
Oh, right.
And it's actually a good story. Well, the team was made. They told us a team, and I was sort of sitting there, and because I wasn't at fullback, I just switched off because I thought, well, that's me then. I'm not playing. I'll be a sub. And then my name got mentioned, and I went,
where am I playing
now? And somebody says, you just got mentioned, and it turned out I was playing in midfield.
Wow.
So that was.
And had you never played in midfield at all?
Not in the first team, no. But
Right.
I used to play when I was younger. I used to play centre half and right half and various other things. But they decided, and I can't remember the boy's name. It was something like Bo Larsson or something. Kind of this international Swedish player.
Yeah.
And I was to
take him out the game.
Take him out the game. And so we ended up winning it, but it was quite good.
Yeah, you won 3-2. That must have been some doing like. And who was the manager again?
Willie McFarlane.
At that time as well,
Yeah.
So you've done well to get a 3-2. And then you came back and scored 2 goals against St Mirren.
Scored in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
couldn't believe it.
That. So your career was off and running.
Up and running.
Yeah, and you were playing that day as well, Merv.
I was playing in these games. But when Kenny came into the team, I think I'd been in the first team for a season or something.
Yeah.
Because I was slightly older than Kenny. I was about 19.
Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. And so you went on and you had a reasonable career. Both of you had a reasonable career at Hibs. Yeah. But Kenny, you managed to break your leg. You didn't do it on purpose.
No. And the ironic thing was, it was against Celtic reserves.
Then I started blaming Celtic for anything.
No, it's all right. We'll get there. But when I made my home debut against St Mirren, it was a keeper called Dennis Conahan.
Yeah, I remember him.
And then it was Dennis Conahan that broke my leg at Easter Road.
Oh dear!
So is that no ironic or what?
It is.
I mean, it wasn't meant or anything, but
no. But it happens. How long were you out the game for them when that happened?
I was 14 weeks in plaster.
Right.
Because you didn't get. That was how it was done in these days, and it was a full leg plaster.
Right. Okay. And Merv, did you have any major injuries while you were there?
No, I was pretty lucky actually. I've had a pulled thigh muscle for 2 or 3 weeks, but I've actually avoided injury. No, I've avoided injury most of my career.
Yeah, because you're still playing 3 times a week.
I'm still playing 3 times a week with a dodgy hip.
Yeah. You would never guess you're a dodgy hip. Well, maybe.
That's very unfair, Colin.
But so you were both at Hibs. Who left Hibs first, by the way? Merv, you went first.
Yeah.
So because I asked you what was your biggest thing that happened to you in football, and it was Hibs, signing for Hibs. Both of you said the same.
Aye, definitely Hibs. That was a highlight because we're from Edinburgh, or I'm from Edinburgh. He's Newton Grange, but always wanted to play, and I was always quite proud of the fact that the whole of Edinburgh we've been picked. So
yeah,
I always thought that was a good thing. But I think I didn't care how much further you're going, but I want to get this in, and that is that when I first broke into the first team with Hibs, we had a 13-game winning streak.
Yeah, and
we beat Hearts, Celtic and Rangers away from home.
Right.
And we were top of the league.
You couldn't do that this season, eh?
No. I think I got a game this season. But no, it was a great debut for me coming into a team like that.
Yeah.
And with a lot of great players.
Aye. Hibs did have good players at that time, Mike, right through the time, because you'd be away before Eddie Turnbull came then from Aberdeen to Hibs. You'd be
luckily.
Luckily, yeah. You said you didn't like him, Mike. So what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to go into the ads, and then I'm going to get you to pick a couple of songs that mean something to you. So let me do this first. Yeah, thank you for that. Right, what we're going to do now, guys, I'm here with my 2 guests. I'm here with Mervyn Jones and Kenny Davidson, both ex-professional football players who started their careers off with Hibs, and we're going to talk about that, and both of them are currently playing walking football now as well. So we're going to come into that, but what I did, guys, we're going to get some music into the show. So I asked you to pick a couple of songs each. Well, yeah, 2 songs each. Merv, you picked Hey Jude, the Beatles. Why is that?
I picked Hey Jude and the Beatles because that was the record that was played the first time I met my wife. Treason.
Oh, how nice is that?
That's unbelievable.
And it's always been our favourite record, and whenever it's played, wherever we are, we stop, and if there's dancing or that, we go and dance to it.
Wow, we could make a film out of that, you know that? You know, that's nice and romantic. I'm dying to know what yours is now.
Well, which one do you want first?
Right, we're going to have You Little Thief first.
Right, well, You Little Thief sort of came into my mind when Celtic pinched a league for Hearts. You know, I mean,
that's uncalled for. Kenny.
I mean, being
it's
a Hibby, I mean, I would like to see the monopoly getting broken, but as long as it wasn't a Hearts.
There you go. That is Hey Jude and You Little Thief, and they were two songs picked by my guests, Mervyn Jones and Kenny Davidson, ex-professional footballers with Hibs, and we're chatting about their time at Hibs, and we're going to go on to what happened after Hibs, and then we're going to go on to your walking football career as well, because Kenny, walking football 14 years, I can't believe that.
Yeah, it was introduced in Midlothian in 2012.
You must have been one of the first into that then.
Yeah, well, it was launched at Lone Head. A guy called Peter Frame and my partner Vivian Wallace who introduced it into Midlothian.
Yeah, we'll come back to that because I want to talk about the whole walking football thing and how good it is for a lot of people for the reasons that we just chatted about there. But I'm going to take you back to your days with Hibs, because what we said was, and I didn't ask you this question, who was your favourite player at the time? Merv, who was yours?
Mine was Eric Stevenson.
Yeah, I don't know that name. Kenny's going, it was me. No, who was that then?
You didn't remember Eric Stevenson?
No, you're before my time as well, Merv, so come on. But no, I didn't actually, no.
Eric Stevenson was the best player ever in Scotland that didn't get a Scotland cap.
Right.
He was a left winger. Kenny will agree, he was very skillful and he was a great guy. And my first day at Easter Road, and this probably helps me pick who I think's the best, I was playing against him the first morning I was there. It was a reserves against the first team, and he actually says to me before the game, before we kicked off, he says, I'll go on your outside all the time, he says, and I'll put the ball a couple of yards in front of me. You can tackle, but didn't hurt me.
Yeah.
And he actually talked me through that whole game, and so I really liked Eric Stevenson.
Yeah, so he helped you with the career and everything else. And I said your best opponent that you ever played against, because you played against some of the best. I mean, you put down here Willie Henderson, Jimmy Johnston, Bobby Lennox, Davy Cooper, Tommy McLean. So you've played against some great wingers as a fullback, try to stop them. But that's not your favourite player.
My favourite player, or the one that I dreaded playing against the most, was Willie Johnson.
Right. Was he better than all them then, you thought, at the time? Or?
No, they were all great players, every one of them. We Jimmy Johnson and Willie Henderson, when you played against them, you probably got 3 or 4 times chances to tackle them, because they kept coming back and beating somebody else. And if Willie Johnson, and it was his pace killed defenders that you used to worry about, sleepless nights, because he just hit the ball 30 yards past you and went like the clappers, and he could run
you would no chance of catching him then.
No. So I always thought, I dreaded him the most, and Bobby Lennox, obviously. He was another one, but I just thought, I played against Willie Johnson 3 or 4 times with Falkirk and Hibs, and I always felt this has got to be hard.
Right, okay. And Kenny, same to you?
Well, the best player I played it with was Pat Stanton.
Yeah.
Pat just strolled through the games.
Yeah, he was some player.
And he was a good lad as well. He looked after you, as a youngster he did. But the hardest opponent that I had was a guy called Alec Lindsay at Liverpool.
Yeah.
I only played against him the once, but do you think I could get past him?
Yeah, no chance.
No chance.
You know, and you played against Liverpool as well, didn't you?
I did.
Was that the same game?
Yes.
Yeah, so you both played against Liverpool. Yeah. That was in Europe. Was that in the Fairs Cup, or was it what is it they called it?
It was the Fairs Cup then, I think it was called.
I do remember that. Okay, so you left Hibs, and that was your biggest disappointment, and you went to Falkirk.
Went to Falkirk, yeah.
Who was it that signed you for Falkirk again? I think I had the note of that.
Willie Cunningham.
Right.
Alec Ferguson was there as a player as well.
So you played with Ferguson, aye?
And they
was he a good player?
Aye, he was an awkward player. He was one of these guys that was all arms and legs, and you know,
a bit like you now then, aye?
No. I'm skillful. Jesus. No, he was... What could you say about... He was competitive.
He was an awkward player to play.
It was very awkward, aye.
He was a centre though, wasn't he?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you went for Hibs to Falkirk. You must have seen that as a bit of going down, but obviously you said you were disappointed that Hibs let you go, and you went to Falkirk. Did other clubs come in for you or not?
Yes, I got an offer for Everton,
right?
But I was just getting married in the May, and this was the June. We just got married, and
your wife put her foot down already, eh?
No, she didn't.
That was the start of it.
It was up to me, but my reasoning for it was, if I couldn't get a game, if Hibs weren't wanting me, there's not much chance Everton will.
Getting Everton first team.
So I decided I didn't want to go to that. So I had other offers for South Africa and various other places, but I went to Falkirk.
Yeah, well, it's not too far.
No,
was that part of the reasoning then? Because you said it was the same money with Hibs.
Oh, it was very same, and they were a decent side actually. And
that was in the first division as well.
Yeah, and they were at the top half of it. George Fleming played for them. Alex Scott played for them.
All right.
And I'd played with Alex. Well, I'd been with Alex Scott at Hibs. So they had a good side.
Right. Okay. And then from there, you stayed there probably, what was that, a couple of years? Stirling Albion, Bob Shankly.
Stirling Albion, Bob Shankly again. I was quite happy to go back and play with him, because I really thought he was instrumental in all the good things that I'd done in the game when I was with Hibs, and so that's why I went to Stirling Albion. And
then for there to Cowdenbeath.
Yeah.
And for Cowdenbeath, and actually you went to Newton Grange Star.
Yes.
Did you go to Newton Grange Star as well, Kenny? No. I
didn't play junior at all.
Even that was on your doorstep?
Well, it was on my doorstep, but I never. The circumstances was that when I left Hibs, I ended up at Dunfermline for a year and then Meadowbank Thistle. My work situation didn't allow me to get to training as often, so
you didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
So, Merv, coming back to you then. So, Cowdenbeath, you went to Newton Grange, and but in the 80s, you became a coach at Heriot Watt University.
I did,
the football team there. 9 years as manager.
Oh, that's
of Vale Leithen.
Yeah, that's right.
And you won 9 trophies in 9 years.
Yes.
Won in the Scottish Cup twice as well as manager.
Yeah, but won everything.
Surprised Hibs didn't come in for you as the manager.
Well, that's true, but no, but I went to the Vale, and they were a really good bunch of players, and I actually had a night out with them last week, and they're all the same. But we had a really good side, and there's a lot of good sides in that East of Scotland league, like Whitehill and Gala.
Was that junior then? Vale Leithen.
Well, it's sort of part-time.
Right.
It was what was called East of Scotland.
East of Scotland.
Right.
East of Scotland League.
But the Scottish Cup then, was that the Scottish Junior Cup, or was that what?
That was the Senior Cup.
Right, okay.
You had to win the Cup to get access to the Scottish Cup.
Right, okay.
So the likes of the Scottish Cups, you had the Scottish Cup with Edinburgh Primaries.
Yeah.
You know, and I won that, and I went at Liverton School, I won the Scottish Cup.
You must have some trophy cabinet. What are your medals?
I won I was involved. I was manager twice for Vale Leithen winning it, and I won it with a Dinah as an under 16, 17.
Right. Okay. All right. Kenny.
Yes.
Hibs.
Yep.
You broke your leg.
Broke my leg.
You said that didn't finish your career at Hibs though, but did it have an impact on it?
It had an impact. It obviously took me a while to recover
as a winger.
And then there was a change of manager in between that, so Eddie Turnbull came in, and
he wasn't well liked by the sound of it.
Well, Eddie was a fantastic coach, but he wasn't a brilliant communicator.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean. So, but by the time I got recovered and all the rest of it, he had brought in other players. You know, the system had changed, and so I never got much of a chance again after that. So I ended up going to Dunfermline.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to play. and I wasn't going to stay at Hibs if you weren't getting the game. And it's sort of similar to Mervyn's situation. You'd rather play as be sitting in the stand or sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
So I went to Dunfermline for a year. George Miller was the manager, and a guy called Ralph Brand was the coach.
Right.
And he was an ex-Rangers player.
Yeah.
Brand and Miller up front. And Ralphie was the coach, and that was a good season we had.
Yeah.
We didn't quite qualify for the top 10 because that was how Scottish football was going, and I got released again and ended up at Meadowbank Thistle.
But you played there for quite a few years, Meadowbank?
Yeah, I played there for 6 years,
Right.
Yep, and that was part-time.
Right.
But good bunch of guys. It was the start, well, it used to be Ferrante Thistle.
Yep.
And it became Meadowbank Thistle when we moved to the stadium.
And then it became Livingston, of course.
And then it became Livingston, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and so your football careers are coming to an end, as it always happens when you get to a certain age.
Yep.
You went into work as local authority as a sport and leisure manager?
That's right, yep.
So how did you feel coming from a professional career? Well, you were probably playing part-time at that time.
Yeah.
But you're going from playing football all the time.
Yeah.
Were you still playing football when you did the work as well?
Not really, because my work situation interfered with the training systems, because I had to work what was called alternating shifts. So every second Tuesday and Thursday I had to work rather as train.
Right, okay.
So that was one of the reasons why I had to sort of give up football, if you like.
Okay.
Because the work became more serious.
All right, okay. Merv, what about you? You were still doing the manager's job with Vale Lothians, so I take it you were working full time at that point.
I was working full time in the civil service. I went there for a month as a casual, and I ended up being.
Were you one of the first Hibs casuals then? Aye?
No, that's a good one. But oh God, I've lost my place now.
Right, sorry about that, mate. But yeah, so Vale Lothians, you went full time. You just got married in that anyway.
Yeah.
So you were full time, and so who was that with again? You did tell me, but I don't think I've taken a note of it. Who did you go to work for?
It was Inland Revenue in the civil service, and I ended up being there 44 years. I didn't like the work, but I liked the people.
Yeah,
I got on really well with.
And you played football for them as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I got in the Inland Revenue team for the UK. A boy called Billy McPhee that was once with Rangers, he was playing as well, and we had a really good side. We done all right.
Yeah, good. So that is your football career. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do some ads and sponsors, and then we're going to come back and talk about your walking football careers right after this.
Yep.
Yeah, welcome back to Community Matters. I've got Mervyn Jones and Kenny Davidson here, both ex-professional players with Hibs, and we're now going to talk about walking football, because that's where I know you guys from, is playing walking football. But Kenny, you mentioned you've been playing now since 2012.
Yep.
As I said, you must have been one of the first to ever do that.
Yeah, well, as I said, my partner Vivian Wallace, she was working with Midlothian Council, and she was running a programme called the Age and Well programme, which was trying to introduce exercise and well-being to the elderly, the over 50s.
Yeah.
And she was finding it difficult to get men to come along and participate in any of the groups. So she thought about walking football. And so we done a launch at Lonehead with Peter Frame at the Bain Memorial. And I got some ex-Hibs players along, and Sky Sports got interested. So Sky Sports came along and done an interview. A guy called Luke Shanley, works with Sky Sports, came along, and we done a launch of walking football. Now, as I said, that was in 2012, and since then it's absolutely taken off. Who would ever think that we're now playing international walking football? And but Vivian introduced it to Scotland.
Right, that's good.
And that was we're still playing it yet. So.
Yeah, you are. I mean, how many times do you play a week?
I play twice a week.
Right, you're down at Port Seaton.
Port Seaton on a Monday, and Lonehead, at Ladywood Leisure Centre on a Friday.
Right, so Port Seaton, for the people in East Lothian, is, if anybody wants to come along, is from 12 until 1?
12 until 1.
Yeah, and it's open to anybody.
Yeah,
and as we've had, there's people there from different age groups.
Well, it's certainly, I mean, the whole thing is about improving mobility, mental strength.
Yeah.
So you can't really turn anybody away, if you like. So if it's got to improve their social life and their well-being, then by all means come along.
No, definitely. And the one thing we were talking about is the camaraderie that you get from it. And dare I say, we're all going to Glasgow tomorrow because somebody that played walking football recently died, so we're all going to his funeral in Glasgow.
Sadly, Tam passed away.
Great guy, Tam Mackin. But we're going there tomorrow, but it is about the camaraderie and everything else.
Definitely.
It is a good laugh, to be fair, apart from Merv, of course. And Merv, you were the same. You've been doing it for 8 years now.
Yes, I think it's one of the best things that I've done, because I'd retired and everything, and you're sort of wondering what to do and didn't want to sit about the house. And I was at Lone Head with my grandson at a weekly camp, and this guy just started talking to me and says, "What do you do on a Wednesday?" And that was Peter Frame, and so I ended up at Lone Head. I go to Ladywood and I go to Preston Pans, and I love the three of them. I think that I couldn't do without playing walking football because it's just something that I really love.
Where do you live just now?
In Edinburgh.
So you're coming all the way from Edinburgh to Preston Pans for a game of football and Lone Head and that as well. So I mean that tells you something.
Yeah.
So Preston Pans is Tuesday, 10:30 until 11:30. Again, if everybody wants to join, and just let me know. But you obviously enjoy it. Both of you enjoy it. As I say, it's good.
It's a camaraderie.
It's
a banter as well.
It's a good one
because you've got different supporters. There's Hibs supporters, Rangers supporters, Celtic supporters, whatever. But it's the banter on the day. It's brilliant.
You mentioned Hearts supporters there, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well,
I'll not tell anybody.
I would just like to say that my claim to fame with the walking football, when I went along to Lone Head, everybody was pally and picked each other up.
Yeah.
I was there for about 2 weeks, and there was a couple of guys fighting because I turned them into being bothered with the result, whereas the majority of them couldn't care less what the result was.
But to be fair, there are some games, because obviously I play at Preston Pans and I play at Queen Margaret on the Thursday. I need to get back to Port Seaton as well. But it can be quite serious at times as well. Yeah. We've seen that. But most of all, it's you go in, you have your plate of soup, your cup of coffee and that afterwards, and everybody's great, aren't they? I mean, but we have had to break up a couple. I've seen it. But again, it's all, it's a heat of the moment. Heat of the moment. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is we've got a couple of songs we're going to come up to in a little while, because you won't believe it, we've only got about 30 minutes left and we've got a couple of songs I want to play. But while I've got you here, because you're big football fans, players, everything else, World Cup starts tomorrow. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely.
Who do you think's going to win it then?
A team called Scotland, I think.
Yeah. I fancy Spain.
Right. I don't actually know. I mean, it's very difficult.
It's very difficult.
It is difficult.
It's very difficult.
Yeah. But I saw that, the highlights of the Haiti game against New Zealand. Did you watch that? And they beat them 4-0, and you're thinking, oh no.
They looked to have decent.
They did, and that's their first game. We've got to win that game. We have got to win that game.
I think so. We've got to get 3 points in that game, because if we're hoping to get anything else, it'll be hard. Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to ask you is that you've played 60s, 70s, 80s, that sort of thing, in the professional game. What has changed, apart from the money, because we all know that, but what has changed, you think, that's ruined the game in Scotland or the world?
Well, VAR for one.
Yeah.
You can't enjoy the game now. Like I go to Easter Road with my grandkids, and when teams score, you just sort of sit, because you can't celebrate, because it takes about 3 minutes for somebody to say, "Aye, it's okay." And the amount of decisions that have been contentious is just terrible.
It is, and you've seen that. You were the same.
Yeah, I mean, VAR has certainly interfered with the game, but also money.
Yeah,
I think money has a lot to do with it as well, because, I mean, as Merv and I have touched on, Merv was on £35 a week, I was on 25. Some of them are getting £400,000 a week.
I know. I know. It's incredible.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. And they get well looked after, and they've all got their little things going on here, there, and everywhere, their sponsorships. So, no, it's definitely. What about the likes of the ball and that? Because again, you're talking about some of these ex-professionals with dementia now because they were heading those big, heavy
Well, the ball's changed, the footwear has certainly changed.
Yeah.
Everything like that's great now. But to be fair, I never ever played with these big balls. They were always the white ones, and they were decent. So. I had my first boots had sort of wooden studs and stuff, so they were pretty awful.
I can't remember wooden studs.
Okay, guys, we're coming up to what is probably near the end of the show. We're going to do a couple of songs, and we'll do that. But anything else you want to add into this before we go into it? Because
No, I'm fine. I think we've sort of covered everything.
Yeah, no, it's been good having you in here because I've known you both for a couple of years now. More than that, about 3-4 years. Yeah. So it's good. And chatting to you guys, you're always good for a laugh, I'll give you that. And that's for sure. So what I'm going to do, if there's no more last words, we're going to talk about your favourite songs now. And you know what, Merv? I wasn't surprised when you gave me this one. I'm not surprised in the least. Although in saying that, we've been an extra. Well, you could have been playing for Rangers, sort of thing. It could have been Simply the Best or something like that.
No, I didn't like that.
No. But anyway, what song have you gone for?
I've gone for. What have I gone for? Sunshine on Leith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that then? Could you say to me?
It's the best anthem out there.
It is a great song, like.
It's a great song. Gets everybody. It's just fantastic when you hear it after a game and that, and you only hear it when Hibs win. So it is.
Didn't hear it that often. It's an emotional song.
I think it's a great song. Like, and I went to see Deacon Blue at Edinburgh Castle, and they played a version of it, and it was brilliant. The whole crowd was going. Yeah. Probably a few Heart supporters no singing along, but everybody else was, and it is a great song. And Kenny, you've picked. What one have you picked? I
Had a Dream it's a Scottish football anthem.
1982. And I'll tell you what a song that is as well. Yeah. Because again, I was watching the video, but I was actually because it's going to come on, I better turn that off. But I was listening to there it goes. I was listening to who was it that was talking about? It was Alan Ruff.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, if you look at the video on Top of the Pops, the guys got there early in the morning and they didn't know what to do, and there was a hospitality area, so they had a couple of drinks. But then it went on into later in the afternoon, and he said, if you watch John Robertson, he said he's absolutely gone. He's had a few, and he said, but a few of them, not one of them was sober on that stage at Top of the Pops. And when you look at the video, you think, yeah, I get that. But again, it was another bit of disappointment.
I know, but you need things like that, to bring it to life.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a dream.
Yeah,
I mean, Scotland getting to the World Cup finals, so
it is for a small nation to get there. I just wish we'd stay. I mean, my favourite song was the Delamitri one, which was "Don't Come Home Too Soon," because that was like, well, come on, just stay in a wee bit longer.
No Scotland, no party.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I watched the game on Saturday. We're going on holiday to Turkey for the Brazil game, so we're going to end up watching that in a pub at 1 a.m. So that'll be interesting, right?
Certainly will be.
Yeah, but I just hope that they do something.
I must have missed that email.
Yeah, but they must win that last game. The first game. First game. Typical Scotland, they'll lose the first game and beat Brazil.
Still go out.
It's still go out, yeah. I still remember the 1978 one where Archie Gamble scored that wonder goal. We went 3-1 up. We were thinking, we can do this.
Here we go.
And then they just went up and scored.
Then there was the time where we never got beat, but still never qualified.
Yeah, 74 that was, I think, And we went out on 1 goal, was it? But anyway, so good luck to Scotland. Their first game's on Haiti. I nearly said Tahiti there. Haiti on Saturday. What time's the kick-off, do you know?
It's 2 o'clock our time, I think.
2 o'clock our time. Anyway, guys, thanks very much. I hope you've enjoyed it here on Radio Saltire. It's been a pleasure having you.
Yep.
I suppose I'll have to say that, really. But
can I just say, Colin, you've got a face for radio.
Oh, boom, boom. Anyway, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to start with Sunshine on Leith.
All right.
And then we're going to go into We Have a Dream. So thanks for listening. I'm back on again, believe it or not, tonight at 6 o'clock, so do join me then.
Thanks, Colin.
I won't have these two guys with me, that's for sure.
Oh, Colin.
Thanks very much, guys.